Hi, I'm Melissa with Mixin' Some Magic. I'm a Disney planning expert and I'm here to mix a little magic into your day. Each week I share Disney vacation planning tips, park strategies, and a little bit of Disney history sprinkled in. Of course, I like to include lots of Disney magic. Join me, let's mix in some magic. Hello and welcome. How's it going? I hope you're doing great. I have a fun episode planned for today, but first there's 3 things that we need to talk about. Number 1, dates for the Oogie Boogie Bash at Disneyland have finally been announced. Finally. We've been waiting for, really months at this point. Last year they announced the ticket sale date sometime in May, I believe, and now we're end of June and we finally just got the information. Kind of crazy, a little bit annoying if I'm going to be truthful. I don't know why Disney can tell us the dates way in advance, but they can't tell us when tickets are going to go on sale. I don't understand. All the information at once would be helpful, I think. But I guess beggars can't be choosers, and we have the information now, and we're just going to have to be happy about it. So let me tell you when you can purchase tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash. If you are an Inspire key holder, you can purchase tickets on June 25th. If you are a Magic key holder of any type, Inspire, Believe, Enchant, or Imagine, you can purchase Oogie Boogie Bash tickets on June 26th. And then general admission tickets will go on sale on June 27th. Now, the waiting room to purchase will open approximately 8:45 a.m. Pacific time, and then ticket sales will begin at 9 a.m. I highly recommend, if you're wanting to purchase tickets, you get them on the first day that you are able to, because they will likely sell out. They sell out every year, and if you want to get them, you need to be on your computer ready to go to purchase those tickets the first date that you're able. Now, a few tips for purchasing tickets. It says that the waiting room opens at approximately 8:45. That means when I go to purchase my tickets, I'm going to probably get on there at 8:15 Pacific time and start trying to get into a waiting room, because approximately is kind of vague. They will likely open it earlier than that, so I'm going to start checking so that hopefully I can get into the waiting room a little bit earlier than maybe some people who don't even check until 8:45. Now, once you're in the waiting room, don't do anything. Don't refresh. You are in the waiting room. Just stay where you are. Then once it opens, it's probably going to add you to the end of a very long line. Again, don't refresh. Just sit there and wait your turn. If you refresh, it's going to bump you to the bottom of the list and going to take you even longer. I also recommend trying to get tickets on more than one device. So I like to have my laptop open, my phone, and my iPad, sometimes my desktop, and have a spot in the queue on all 4 of those devices. It's so weird because one of them is always going to get in way faster. Even though I get into the queue at about the same time, one will be much faster than the others. I don't know if it's random when they open the queue and assign people spots. Nobody really knows, but for your best chances, it's nice to get in on more than one device. Now, once you purchase your tickets, you are good to go. You don't have to make park reservations for the Oogie Boogie Bash because your event ticket is your reservation. So if you are planning on going, good luck to you getting tickets. If you do it on the morning of the first day you're able, I don't think you'll have a problem. If you wait until the afternoon of the first day that you're able, you might not get them. It is usually a long line. I don't know why Disney can't figure out event virtual queues, but it's always long. Last year there was a huge fiasco and the whole system crashed and they stopped selling tickets and didn't start selling them until days later. So hopefully they got that all worked out. I don't know. We know it can be done because I know that Amazon sells millions of products per minute to the whole world and their system doesn't crash. So I know it can be done. I just hope Disney figured it out and can do it this year. Fingers crossed. But make sure you have your patience when you are waiting in the queue And hopefully it's just smooth sailing this year and we'll just all have glowing things to say about our experience getting Oogie Boogie Bash tickets. If you need more information about Oogie Boogie Bash and what it is and the dates that it's happening and prices, I'm going to put a link in the show notes to my post about Oogie Boogie Bash. There's also kind of a little touring plan, like a schedule of the order I recommend doing things in and tips and helpful information. So that is all on there. I'll put a link down in the show description so you can check that out. And the second thing I want to talk about is we have a sort of official reopening time for Haunted Mansion Holiday that just came out today. And I'm excited, mostly because I was right all along. I feel like justified and vindicated because there have been people who have been saying for months and months that it's not opening this year, that it's going to open up next year. And that really kind of irritated me. I'm like, where are you getting this information? Especially because on the Disneyland website there, if you search for Halloween time, then it pulls up a whole section about all the offerings during the Halloween season, and Haunted Mansion Holiday is one of those. So I kept telling people, don't stress, Haunted Mansion Holiday should be back for the Halloween season or they wouldn't put it as one of the offerings on the website. And today they announced that yes, Haunted Mansion Holiday would definitely be back for the Halloween season. They did stop short of giving an exact reopening date, although some of the interviews that I have listened to, the Disney reps strongly hinted that it will be open on that first day that Halloween kicks off, which is August 23rd. I wouldn't be surprised if they opened it even earlier since they like to do soft openings and soft launches. So I wouldn't be surprised if they opened it a week or two before that so that they could kind of start training employees and getting their flow down and things like that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We will know the exact opening date in just a few weeks because Disney updates their crowd calendars 6 weeks in advance. And right now it is updated just to the first day of August. So we'll know in about 3-ish weeks if it will be officially opening on August 23rd, but I highly suspect that it will. Now, we did also find out that when it reopens, it will be available via virtual queue only. So it's not going to be added to the Genie Plus system quite yet, just going to be virtual queue. And I suspect that may be because the queue that they have been redoing might not be fully done by then, but they want to get it open for the holidays, so they might need to control traffic a little bit more than having a standby line and a lightning lane open. So it will just be available via virtual queue, which stresses me out a little bit because I am notoriously terrible at getting into virtual queues for Disney park attractions. But I don't know, maybe my luck has changed and I'll just be able to do it easy peasy. We'll see. I don't have high hopes, but usually people I'm with are good at it, so that's what saves me. I will give you more information as we get it, but that's what's happening right now. Also, I wanted to remind you about the ticket sale that Disneyland is having right now. It is on adult tickets and kids tickets. These are 3-day tickets. You can add a park hopper if you want. You can add Genie Plus if you want. But these tickets are amazingly priced. You're going to save hundreds of dollars if you buy these tickets. I bought some for my family. Our plan was to visit this summer and just go for 2 days because it would be cheaper. But when this ticket sale came out, I realized that for $20 extra, we could go for a whole extra day and be there for 3 days. So, of course, we're doing 3 days. For 20 extra bucks, you better believe it. So this ticket sale is amazing. You have to purchase by September 12th, and tickets have to be used by September 26th. Now, the cool thing about these tickets is these dates don't have to be used consecutively. So if you wanted to use 2 of the days in July and then go back mid-September to see the Halloween stuff for 1 day, you could totally do that. I love that flexibility because usually Disney park tickets do not offer that. Now, if you want to save even more money, then you can combine your amazing park ticket deal with a hotel from my travel partners at Getaway Today because they have awesome hotels, even with free nights. That's my favorite thing to do, is to get a deal on the tickets and then book one of their hotels that has a free night offer because then you save the most money. Getaway Today's park tickets for this sale are discounted even more than they are on the Disneyland website, so you're definitely going to want to get them from Getaway Today. Throw in your hotel at the same time so you can save the very most money. I'm going to put a link in the show description so you can check it out, or you can call them at 855-GETAWAY and just tell them that Mix in Some Magic sent you to get the best rates. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is I have been working really hard on my YouTube channel lately, and there are some fun videos on there right now that you might want to check out. One of them is a Disney Parks rumors and news video, which was really fun to make. I'm going to make more of those. It's just talking about the latest park news and rumors that are floating around. You'll have to go watch it so you can see what some of these crazy rumors are. Oh man, they're just so funny, but people believe them. Anyway, rumors and news video, I'll put a link in the show notes. And then I also have a video that just dropped all about Halloween versus the holidays and which is better at the Disneyland Resort. This is a serious topic. People have strong feelings, and I wanted to make a video kind of putting the two side by side. So if you're like, maybe we want to visit for Halloween time, or do we want to go for the holidays? Then you can see the difference between the two. I also did a poll over on my Instagram asking people which one they preferred, and I was kind of surprised by the results. So it's all in the video. I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well, so you should go check that out. Okay, how long have I been talking? Forever, probably forever. Just had to get these things out to you so you had all of this information because it is important stuff happening right now. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, then we're going to talk about some kind of hidden secret gems that are great places to escape the crowds and take a break. Now, some of these you're going to know, but some of these I bet are new to you. And these are things that when I share them on my social media, I always have locals say, no, don't tell people that. Why are you telling people that? So these are the spots that locals don't want you to know about. So if you're one that needs to take a break from the crowds at Disneyland, which I think that is all of us, then this episode is for you. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Mix in Some Magic. Making dinner is the worst. I absolutely hate deciding what to make for dinner each and every night. It's so time consuming, and then I have to unthaw the meat, and I have to prep everything, and then I have to cook it. It takes me forever. I'm over it. My family is also trying really hard to make healthier choices and eat more protein, and honestly, cooking a protein for dinner each night is tricky. It's hard for me, it's time consuming, and it's been a struggle. But luckily, I have found a solution. Just Meats. Just Meats is an amazing service that ships quality protein to your front door. So the meat arrives fully cooked and ready to use. All you have to do is reheat it, and you're on your way. Dinner is done. Boom. Congratulations. They have really great options like smoked Texas brisket, slow-cooked pulled pork, Texas rubbed chicken thighs, beef tri-tip, and more. It only takes a few minutes to heat up, and you're ready to go. I add a side dish like rice and a veggie, and then we have a healthy, high-protein dinner that didn't take me hours to make and that I didn't have to stress out about. It's so much healthier than fast food, cheaper than fast food, so we're saving money. We're eating healthier, and we're getting high quality protein, which is really important to my family. It's been a game changer, and I think that you are going to love it too. So I'll put a link in the show notes, and you can check them out. You can also use my code JustMelissaH for $20 off your first purchase. Getting Just Meats delivered to our house has been a huge lifestyle upgrade for us. We're eating healthier, it's delicious, and no more stressing about what to make for dinner. I can't emphasize how happy that makes me. I think you're going to love them too. Check them out. There's a link in the show notes. right, let's get going. Let's talk about Disneyland first. Ooh, or should we do California Adventure Park? I don't know. Maybe California, I don't know. I feel like Disneyland gets all the love. Let's start with California Adventure because we love that place too. So these are just some quiet spots to relax at the Disneyland Resort. Some of them are attractions, some of them are little hidden areas that you might not know about. But if you need a break from the crowds, you just need to sit for a little while or relax or just do something that is a little less stimulating, then these are good areas to go to. If you have a baby that's sleeping in a stroller and you're like, ooh, I need a spot to park this stroller that's shady that we can just hang out, that's not going to have a million people around, there's some spots for you on this list. Okay, first, California Adventure Park. Let's start with the attractions, like things you can do. You probably already know about these, but the animation building is a great place to take a break. They have some videos all around when you walk in. There's some little couches that you can sit on, but they also have some things inside that are really great for taking a break, like the Animation Academy, where you can sit and draw a Disney character. A Disney animator actually walks you through the process, so that's kind of fun. That's a great place to take a break because you get to sit. It takes about 20-ish minutes, so it's air conditioned and you get to just sit and enjoy a nice comfortable chair in the air conditioning and draw at the same time. So that's a great place to take a break. There's also Turtle Talk with Crush in that same building, which is another place to take a break. You can send your kids up to the front because there's a big screen, and then you can find a cozy spot in the back. It's very dark. I mean, you could close your eyes and nobody would even know if you took a little nap. I have done it myself before. There is also Mickey's PhilharMagic, which is over there in Hollywoodland. It's a big theater. It's a 3D show. It's cute. So cute. Your kids will love it. But if you just want to take a break, I have also slunk down in those seats, closed my eyes, and had a good nap. And this show is fairly long. I think it's maybe 12 to 15 minutes. So it's fairly long. It's dark. It's air conditioned. That's a nice place to hang out and take a little break or a nap. Oh, I did forget to mention, over in the Animators building, there is the Sorcerer's Workshop. Now, I'm still a little bummed that Beast Library has been taken away from this section, but it is still a quiet spot to go to, especially now that Beast Library is gone. Like, really, nobody really cares to go down there because it is just some little displays. I mean, they're cute and they're fun, but it was Beast Library that was getting people down into that section. So Sorcerer's Workshop, I guess that's good news. It really kind of frees up more quiet spots for people to go to. So Sorcerer's Workshop is definitely on that list, so you can check that out as well. Another spot that is great to take a break is the Grand Californian lobby. This lobby is huge. It's gorgeous. There's tons of seating, so there's lots of couches. They have a big, huge fireplace that has rocking chairs in front of it. That is a great place to take a break, although I will warn you, if you have had a long park day and you go and sit in one of those rocking chairs, you're going to have a hard time, like, summoning the courage to get up and keep going. So use this area with caution because once you're comfy in that rocking chair, you don't want to go anywhere. You don't have to be staying at the Grand Californian to go check out the lobby. There's gorgeous flowers in the lobby that change seasonally. There's sometimes displays to go along with the season, like a gingerbread house during the holidays, and they often have a piano player playing their gorgeous grand piano. So it's a very fun place to check out, and if you need a break, very fun place to take a break. The next one I want to talk about is the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Now, this does get busy, but there's lots of places to sit that are quiet and shady. And there's kids that are going to be running around and having a great time, but it's not wall-to-wall people, where there's so many people that you feel like you are just going to scream and lose your mind. It's nothing like that. There's a lot of area, people spread out, and a lot of families will kind of pick a little area and park out for a while and park out. That's not right. Park it, will camp out. That's better. They'll camp out for a little while, let their kids go and play on all of the things, And that's a great way to take a break too, especially if you have a little one napping in the stroller, but your older kids are still going to want to do something fun. This is a great place to go and sit with the stroller while they head out and have some fun over at the Redwood Creek Challenge Trail. Let's talk about a few areas that you might not know about. The first one is the Cars Land Walkway. So in between San Francisco Square and Cars Land, there is a little path that connects the two that a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people will go out onto the main road and walk through all of the crowds to get to Cars Land, but there's this little path that goes the back way into Cars Land, and it's big and it's beautiful and it's scenic and it is never crowded. So this walkway is one of my favorite places to go because as you're walking through this arch from San Francisco Square, you're going into Cars Land, and there's this transition where you're entering Monument Valley, and you can see all the mountains in the back, and you're walking past the Cars ride attraction, and you can see the cars zooming by, and it's really fun. So this little path is very quiet. I like to hang out here just to catch my breath sometimes, take a break from the crowds. But it also has Flo's V8 Cafe right there in between the Cars attraction and the path. Does that make sense? There's the path, then on one side it's Flo's V8 Cafe, on the other side it's the Cars Land attraction. That's what I'm trying to say. There is a ton of seating over on that side of Flo's V8 Cafe that a lot of people don't realize is there. So it's an outside seating area, but it's covered and it's shady, and there are always tables available there. So when I eat at Flo's, then I like to go grab one of those tables because it's a much quieter environment. Plus you have this gorgeous scenery and you can watch the cars ride as you are eating your meal. Sometimes I even just go sit there to take a break when I'm not eating a meal, just because there's always empty tables there, and I love a good empty table. The next one I want to talk about is the Silly Symphony Swings deck. Now, a lot of people don't realize this even exists, but under the Silly Symphony Swings is a little pathway, and if you walk around it, you will find yourself on a little boardwalk. People call it a deck that is facing the pier, so you are right there on the water, and it has a bunch of benches. This area is always quiet. There's not a lot of people there because it's kind of hidden. And if you're hurrying from ride to ride, you're not even going to know it's there. You're not going to notice it at all. So this is also a great place to sit. It's always shady because it's covered. This is a really good place for you to sit with a baby that's napping while your rest of your family is doing other things. Or if you just need a break from the hustle and bustle, this is a good location. And it has great views because you can see the spinning wheel of death. That's not what it's called, but that's what I call it. And you've got the whole view of the water, and you can see Incredicoaster. It's really great. The last place that I want to talk about in Cars Land is Grizzly Pass. This is another area that a lot of people don't realize exists. It used to be the smoking area, and I walked by there a time or two by accident when I got a little lost. Back when my kids were little and I'd have them in their stroller, and all of a sudden we were like surrounded by clouds of cigarette smoke. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have gone the wrong way. Hold your breath, everyone. We're going to get through this. But now there is no smoking inside the Disneyland Resort, and so this is just a little pathway that goes behind Grizzly River Run, and it's really quiet and it's shady, and it's next to Grizzly River Run, so you hear the water. It feels kind of like a mountain sanctuary, and because it's a little off the beaten path, it will get you to the same place as if you were walking on the main road by the Grand Californian and by Grizzly River Run over to Soarin'. It will get you to the same place, but it's off the beaten path and it kind of is a little more out there. So most people, it's not the most direct route. So a lot of people don't go back there just because they're trying to get from point A to point B quickly. But if you want a little path to slowly walk on and enjoy some nature and a break from the crowds, this is a good one. There's also some benches located along the path that you can sit at and take a little break too. So that's one of my very favorite areas just because it has the ambiance of nature, I guess, with the trees and the water, and I really enjoy it over there. Okay, let's go over to Disneyland. Now, some of these I know you're going to know about, but I'm hoping that I have a few on my list that you have never heard of. Let's first start with attractions, because there are attractions, of course, at Disneyland that are really great for taking a break with. Number one is the train. I love taking a break on the train. I get myself some popcorn and a Diet Coke and just ride that train around. The whole loop takes about 20 minutes and it's a nice break to just sit, but you're still doing something. So if you have kids and you're like, we got to do something with these kids, but these kids are also about to lose their minds and they need to sit down and take a break, the train is a great option. Another one I love is the sailing ship Columbia or the Mark Twain riverboat. They're both great options. They'll take you around the rivers of America. You can see different views of the park than you can see anywhere else. So you get to see the backside of the rivers of America. You can see it a little bit from the train, but unless you're on the sailing ship Columbia or the Mark Twain or the canoes, you don't get to see that area. So that's a fun thing to do. There's also lots of fun things to look at on the ship. The Mark Twain is awesome. Sailing ship Columbia, you can go down below deck and check things out. They're both great options to take a break, and they're usually not very crowded. So it'll feel a little crowded when people are waiting to get on, but once they're on, everyone spreads out a little bit, and then it's nice and roomy. Another one is Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. This one is so nice to just sit. It's again one of those shows that you sit in a dark air-conditioned theater. You can close your eyes and go to sleep. No one will even know. I think it's about a 15 to 20 minute show. It is quite lengthy. I love it. You always leave feeling extra patriotic. It is really cool because it's such a slice of Disney history with, them creating this animatronic for the World Fair. And there's a lot of history behind this attraction. And it's also a great place to take a break. It is never crowded. This is not Disneyland's most popular attraction, so you can show up anytime, wait in their air-conditioned lobby, and then head into the show when it starts. So this is a great place. Also, you go into Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln through the Main Street Opera House, and inside they have some really cool displays all about park history, and they have the bench where Walt was sitting when he came up with the idea for Disneyland. There's all kinds of artifacts and old pictures and concept art for attractions. So it's a really cool place to hang out while you are waiting for the next showing of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. Or you don't even have to go into the show. You could just go into that building and hang out and enjoy the displays or enjoy one of the benches that is sitting there. I've had a few times when I've been in the parks where I needed to take a phone call and I wanted to find a quieter place, which is difficult. And I went into the Main Street Opera House, into that display area, and found a bench. There was no one around and I could take my phone call and not worry that they weren't going to be able to hear me. So this is a great place to have some quiet time. All right, the next one I want to talk about is the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough. Now, this might be a little bit of stretch because you're not really taking a break. You do have to walk up some stairs and you have to walk down some stairs, but it is not usually very crowded, so there's usually never many people inside this attraction, and that's why I added it to the list, because sometimes it's not so much taking a physical break as it is kind of like a mental break from the crowds and from the lines. And this is a place I like to go when I need a little bit of quiet. You can go at your own pace. You can walk through the castle and it has little signs that tell you the story, and there's lots of fun displays in there. So if you need a mental break from the crowds, this is a great place to go and kind of take your time and meander along. The Finding Nemo observation post is also a great place to take a break without waiting in line. So the observation post is part of the Finding Nemo attraction, but it is designed for people who do not want to go into the submarine. So for whatever reason, if you don't want to go into the submarines because you don't want to do that tight staircase, or you don't want to be in that confined space, it doesn't really matter what the reason is. You can go into the Finding Nemo observation post and you get to see the same thing that you can see on the attraction. and that attraction is lengthy. So you just tell a cast member at the front of the attraction that that's what you like to do. They'll tell you where to go. They take you into a room. There's never a wait for this. Now, it's not as exciting as riding on the submarine, but if you need a place to sit and take a break where you don't have to wait in line, but you still get to see a little show, this is a good option. One of my favorite places over in Disneyland to take a break is Tom Sawyer Island. I just have this little special soft place in my heart for Tom Sawyer Island. I love it so much, especially when the Pirate's Lair is open. It's being refurbished right now, but I love the whole island. It just feels like you're all of a sudden not at Disneyland anymore. You're away from all of the crowds and the noise, and you're all of a sudden on this little island with trees and these beautiful rocks, and you've got nature all around you, and it is a great place. So if you have kids that need to blow off some steam and run around and you don't want to tell them to stand still in line for one more time because they're bumping into the people in front of you, this is a great place to go. They can run free. There's lots of things for them to see and do and explore. There's also lots of benches for you to sit at. It's shady. There's bathrooms over there. So you can spend quite a bit of time over there, whether you want to sit and take a physical break or you just need a mental break from the parks. This is a great place to go. They also have picnic tables over there. Not very many, just a couple, but I have never seen anyone sitting at them. So our family would often pack a lunch when my kids were little to save money, and we would go over there and eat our lunch because there's a picnic table. It's quiet, it's shady. My kids love Tom Sawyer Island, so it was a great place to take a break and eat our lunch at a picnic table. And that way I didn't worry that I was taking a table away from, somebody who had paid for their food at a quick service restaurant or something like that. So we just head over to Tom Sawyer Island, and it was perfect. Okay, that is all the attractions that I have on my list, but there are a few places kind of sprinkled around Disneyland that are also good for taking a break. Let's start with Snow White's Grotto. I'm sure you know about this one. It's to the side of Sleeping Beauty Castle, in between the castle and Tomorrowland. There's a little pathway that you can walk through that'll take you into Fantasyland, but there is a wishing well there, and there's water, and there's some statues of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and this wishing well will come to life every once in a while, and you can hear Snow White singing. This is not the least crowded place in the parks, but it is less crowded usually than other places. So this may not be like a sit and take a break kind of place, but I do like to walk on this path sometimes because it feels less crowded. This is a fun place for your kids to just stand and watch what's going on, watch the wishing well, wait for the little wishing well show to start, things like that. So I wanted to add that to my list because it is kind of a more quiet section of the park. Over in the new Toontown, they have made a little area that is in the back. You just walk straight back as far as you can go in Toontown and you will run into it. So it's kind of this little, I don't want to say cave because it's not really a cave, but it is a shady area that is surrounded by rocks, and they have some benches back there. And I don't know if they officially were trying to make this kind of a quiet zone for kids to hang out in or adults, but that is kind of what it's turned out to be. So this is kind of a quieter area back there in the corner. There's not really anything going on over there, and so this is what makes it a good place to sit and just take a little break. I feel like there are a ton of places to find quiet over in Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is by far the most spread out park at Disneyland, and they have big, huge walkways, and not as many people go back there as I think maybe they anticipated. I don't know. Disney doesn't tell me these things, but I feel like if they were making everything so big and spread out, maybe it's because they anticipated lots of people filling those walkways, but there isn't as many people back there as it feels like there should be on really almost any given day. So every time I go into Galaxy's Edge, I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm in a different world, and where are all the people? So this is a great place to take a break. I mean, really, you can find a lot of quiet spots in Galaxy's Edge. So if you need a break from the crowds, just head over to Galaxy's Edge, see what's going on over there, see what you can find. But my bet is you're going to be able to find a quiet little corner to sit in, and it's going to be amazing. Now, if you are looking for a little hidden seating area, you're going to want to go over to the Harbor Galley, which is right across from the Haunted Mansion. It doesn't look like there's much seating by the Harbor Galley, but if you walk behind the Harbor Galley, there is a little path that has extra seating back there, and there's a path that takes you kind of along and then it connects you back to the main path. But when you go on this path, it gives you great views of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And this is a nice spot because you can usually find a table back there because it's hidden. Not a lot of people know about it. So I like to go back there when I'm looking for a quiet spot for a break if I'm in that area. Another spot that is good for a break is the old motorboat dock, kind of by It's a Small World. So if you have the Matterhorn, and then you have the Edelweiss snacks, and then right behind that there is this old boat dock that is covered, and there's a bunch of tables back there, and it's surrounded by water, so there's ducks all around, and you can go back there, and there's lots of seating, and that is a great place to take a break. Lots of tables, so you can go and have lunch down there, or dinner, or a snack, and that's a great little area that is usually not super crowded. Now, there is one spot in the parks that you can guarantee almost nobody is going to be at any given time, and this is the reason that I love it. I have also taken phone calls in this area, but this is the picnic area in between Disneyland and California Adventure Park in the Esplanade. So it is surrounded by trees, and if you didn't know it was there, you would walk right by it and never know. I think there's some signs that say picnic area, but a lot of people don't go over there because they are busy in the parks. They don't want to mess with it. And I think a lot of people don't realize it's there, but they have a bunch of tables in there. It is usually shady. There's a bathroom right by it, and you can go over there whether you've packed a lunch and you're going to hang out there and eat it, or you just want a break from the crazy. This is a good place to go because there's always tables. You can sit there and you can just hang out, relax, take a break, and maybe a mental break too. Because often when I'm visiting Disneyland, the crowds can get overwhelming. I'm like, I need to just separate myself from the crazy for a minute. And that is one of my favorite places to go because it is always low crowds, and it seems like everybody that I see over there is there for the same reason I am, to just like get away for a few minutes. So I do really like that location. Okay, that is everything on my list. I hope I was able to share something with you that you didn't know. Fingers crossed. That was my goal. So hopefully I was able to tell you about a little place that you hadn't thought of that you can take a break while you are at the Disneyland Resort. I am busy gearing up for a big Disneyland trip. I will be leaving in just a couple of days, heading to the parks. I am going there with Visit Anaheim and Getaway Today, and we're going to be doing some really fun things, some things that I have never done before, and I'm excited. So I'm going to be staying at 2 different hotels, so I'll be able to tell you all about that. I'm going to be going to Newport Beach and Balboa Island, so I'm very excited about that. Plus, of course, I'll be going to Disneyland. You can't go to Anaheim without going to Disneyland, but I will be trying a bunch of different restaurants, and it's just going to be fun. Oh, and I'm going to an Angels game. I forgot about that too, because Angel Stadium is right there by Disneyland. It's so very close. So there's so much to do in Anaheim, and I get to experience some new things on this trip, and I'm excited about it. So I am trying to pack, even though I'm a terrible packer, in advance. So I'm sure I won't pack till Saturday night because I'm leaving Sunday morning. But in my mind, I'm like mentally trying to figure out what I'm bringing. So maybe that'll save me some time. Maybe not. Who knows? But I'm excited about that trip. It should be really fun. If you want to follow along, I will be oversharing, of course, as I do over on my Instagram. So you can find a link to that in the show notes. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being here. You are the very best. I'll be back next week with something new. Thanks so much for listening. We'll talk soon.